Hello, and welcome to Rethinking Our History, where we seek to shed a light on events that have been forgotten and covered up, and to make us all question how much do we really know about our history? I'm Felicia.
And I'm Ian, and we are here to reveal all the sordid details of history that have been swept under the rug. Get ready to get angry, be curious, and maybe have a laugh or two as we rethink our history.
Hello, friends.
Hey guys.
Thanks for joining us for another lesson, number 32. 32. I don't know why I feel like that's an important number.
It's my dad's motorcycle number.
That's what it is. This week
It's his racing number.
Yeah. His dad used to do motocross back in like the 70s. We have pictures. Picture it didn't happen. We have pictures. It was in the newspaper.
Yeah. He won a couple of races at Western North Carolina, the local university.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been looking at helmets at the store for Patty because after she saw a kid getting picked up on a motorcycle at school one day, she was like, I want Pops to pick me up on a motorcycle.
He would too.
And I was like, well, we need to get you used to riding with him because at one time she rode with him, she was like, that thing's loud. I don't like it. But that was like 4 years ago.
And she didn't have a helmet.
Yeah, which they just went around the block. So, But all right. This week we're going to look at someone who, for some reason, is a controversial figure. Racism. But first, to the business. We will be at Haywood Pride on Main on June 28th. I believe the parade is either at 10 or 11. I'll let y'all know the closer we get to the event. My store will also have a pop-up booth there, so you guys check both of us out. If you found us here first and are a fan of the paranormal, give our show, The Paranormal Lovers, a listen. Over 100 episodes about everything from the Beast of Bladenborough to the Dover Demon. There are also a few episodes from our short-lived true crime show. Yeah, folks, we had a short-lived true crime show on Patreon.
The Deadly Lovers.
I got way too emotional doing that shit.
Oh, man.
So we stopped. Rough. But there's a couple episodes up on the main feed. If you would be so kind, please give us a follow, share, rating, and review if possible on social media and your favorite streaming app. We are on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, as well as videos on YouTube. Just search for The Paranormal Lovers in the search bar to find us on any of these platforms. If you would like to support the making of these shows, we have a couple ways to do so. First, we have the merch store at theparanormallovers.threadless.com. There you can get shirts, hoodies, blankets, mugs, mouse pads, and many other things. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/theparanormallovers, where for only $5 a month, you get early access to unedited videos of both shows, as well as stickers and other swag from time to time. And finally, if you have a personal story, topic request, you'd like to be a guest on our show, or you just want to chat, email us at theparanormallovers@yahoo.com. And yes, we use Yahoo. I've heard some people lately be like, how you trust somebody that still uses Yahoo? I'm like, because I'm autistic and I don't see fucking point changing over to Gmail that has 52 million fucking boxes that I don't need.
It's true.
Although I'm mad because Yahoo just switched over and made it just like Gmail.
Right.
Like, God dang it. But yes, I use Yahoo. Y'all suck it.
Hey, I've had Yahoo since like 1996.
Since Yahoo was invented.
So, y'all back off. I like my email.
Nice crack.
I pride myself in having the same email since like 96.
Yeah. I'm like that with my phone number. I've had my phone number now going on 18 years. And like, that's the only thing I've kept that long in my damn life.
I've had the phone number
a lot longer.
Probably longer.
I mean, honestly, if you think about like when you got it, fun fact for the younger generation, we had these things called house phones, which was a central phone tied to your house, could not be taken out of the house, and anybody could use it.
Yeah.
We have one. It's just a neat little phone. There's no screen on it. You can't talk to people. You can't play games. It's just a phone. You call people. But Shit, I had a brain fart. What were we talking about?
Having the same phone number for years.
Yeah. So your phone number was originally y'all's landline phone number.
No, it was a secondary landline.
Was it a secondary landline?
Yeah, it was a fax number that my mom got for the travel agency that she owned at the time. And so we turned it into an internet line because dial up
Yeah,
started.
we had to have dial up back in the day.
And so we moved it upstairs for the dial up. Or did we move it downstairs because of me? I can't remember. But so then after so many years of it not being in use, I switched my cell phone to it.
Yeah, so that phone number has been around for a very, very long time.
People are still like, is that an old Waynesville number?
It literally is an old Waynesville house number.
Yeah, it's my cell phone now, though.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like at our store, we have the rewards program, which if anybody ever comes to within reach, our rewards program, you get 1 point for every dollar spent. After 100 points, you get $5 off. And I put it in by their phone number, and occasionally I'll get a 648 or a 926, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Maggie Valley?
Y'all still use that number?
Yeah.
Or 627. That one really throws me off. I'm like,
627 was a Waynesville Jonathan Creek. 926 was a Maggie Valley. 452 and 456 was Waynesville, and
648's Canton.
648 was it? Okay.
Yep.
648 was
648, and then 235. We had a 235 phone number when I lived in Canton. 235-2685. If y'all call it area code 828, I don't know who the fuck's gonna answer it because I don't have that number anymore. So y'all have fun. All right. So this week we're gonna be talking about this guy who we don't know a lot about. The most of his life we know about is about 3 years when he was in his 20s, and then nothing else. Which is a shame, because we should know more about the man known as the Black Samurai.
Oh, I gotta look this up.
The man who, due to simply being black, was taken in as a vassal of one of the most powerful men in Japan's history.
Nice.
Some historians believe this man may have been born in Mozambique or even Ethiopia.
Afro.
But unless we find hidden texts that speak of him, we will never even know his name, other than what they called him in Japan. And if you want to look it up, I don't say it till later, it's Yasuke.
Yeah.
The earliest accounts of this man come from 1579. Until this time, he had worked with Italian Jesuit missionaries. And when they were tasked with examining the missions in Japan, Alessandro Viganano, I actually tried to pronounce this at work yesterday, Valignano, his fellow missionaries, and this man, who was either enslaved or a bodyguard, went overseas. They spent 2 years traveling around to different missions, and everywhere they went, it caused a stir. Wasn't necessarily racism like we have in the US that was an issue, but this is a mono-race country where, while there may have been a few hundred on the island, dark-skinned people were not a common sight.
I bet he was terrifying.
Bruh. Yeah. It was a bigger issue when they decided to travel to the capital city of Kyoto, where Villagano was hoping to get a meeting with the leader of Japan at the time, Oda Nobunaga. It was during this trip on March 27th, 1581, while they were trying to travel to the meeting, a mob began to form as people heard about the man with skin as dark as ink. Buildings were destroyed, and people were literally trampled to death when the mob surged forward in attempts to get a glance of this foreign man.
Wow.
Again, it's not hatred that their racism takes the form of. It's just like a curious animal.
Right.
Like, what is that? Can I poke it with a stick? He was not at first present at the meeting, but when a messenger came to tell Nobunaga about the commotion outside, Nobunaga was in disbelief and asked to see the man himself. When the man came into the meeting, Nobunaga was shocked at just how dark the man was. Believing that the man must be dyeing his skin after he got dressed, Nobunaga had him stripped down to his waist. Still not satisfied that it was not dye, he then had the man scrub his skin. Which, like, okay. Feels kind of icky, but again, remember, folks, 1500s Japan.
They totally didn't understand.
They're like, why is he so fucking dark? Why are you so dark, sir? Why? Are you dying yourself? You're dying yourself, aren't you? No, we don't. This was when he could no longer deny what was right before his eyes, and Nobunaga asked Valig- Valignano if he could keep the man. And I think this is one of the things that make people question whether he was enslaved or not. If he was free and employed willingly, why wouldn't Nobunaga just ask him if he wanted to stay? Kind of iffy. Maybe it's a cultural thing of the 1500s. I don't know. The Shincho Koki manuscript describes this man as, quote, on the 23rd of the second month, a black Moor came from Christian country. He appeared to be 26 to 27 years old, black all over his body. Just like an ox, this man looked robust and had a good demeanor. What is more, his formidable strength surpassed that of 10 men. The Baturan brought him along by way of pay respects to Nobunaga. Indeed, it was owing to Nobunaga's power and his glory that yet unheard of treasures from the three countries and curiosities of this kind came to be seen here time and again. A blessing indeed. End quote. That makes me sick the way they were so kiss assy with these people back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's because of his blessings and kindness that we get to see a black man.
That's kind of the way their society works, though. Like,
yeah.
That's.
I think they've come away from that a little bit, but like they
a little bit, but
still hold those officials in high regard, which I'm like, calm down.
I think my therapist was telling me of a client that she had that was in Japan or China. And like when you get a job there, like you have to go underneath a position of elders. So like all their elders hold the top positions there.
Yeah.
And then it goes down from there. But
which like it's kind of the way it's supposed to be, ain't it?
And then you like
I mean, not necessarily elders, but like seniority is the way it's supposed to work at jobs, ain't it?
So like outside of meetings, the lower workers would if you like went to a meeting outside of work, then you would be expected to like serve the elders and the older people that you work with.
Which that I get. I feel like that's just a respect your elders thing, which can be toxic as well. Like
it's like a society thing.
If you're
a societal thing.
Listen, I don't care what culture you come from. If your family's toxic, your family's toxic. Okay, there are certain things that it's just like, I'm okay with that because like if it's just all the young people serving the elders, that's good. The young people should be serving the elders, and the elders should be working to make a better future for the young people. But if it was just like, oh, well, only women are serving everybody because that's a woman's role in the kitchen, you know what I mean? That's like, that's where you go.
Right.
Is it though? Shouldn't everybody be in the damn kitchen because that's where the food's at? And there's another thing that makes some people question the claim of his status as a samurai, the way he is spoken of. Now, I don't have any access to any written records directly from Nobunaga, but many people saw him as strange and curious. But again, while there are black people in Asian countries and some Asian nations that are darker than others, it is not an everyday sight to see a 6-foot man as dark as ink. When I was thinking of this, I was thinking of that one customer I have that runs the lake, the tall black guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, he kind of sticks out. Like, even in an area where he lives, when he comes in the store, we don't have any other he's like 6'4", dark as ink black men in the store.
Right.
You know, so, yeah.
I wonder who made his sword.
I don't know.
That had to be a hell of a big sword.
Right. But this was the 1500s in feudal Japan, so yes, he was a curiosity, but he was treated with much more respect than he would have gotten had he been in the States.
I'm sure.
He was given the name Yasuke when he joined Nobunaga's circle. He was made a personal attendant to Nobunaga, and whether he was given the title of samurai or not, he was treated as one. Quote, it was ordered that the young black man be given a stipend, named Yasuke, and provided a sword and a private residence. At times, he was also entrusted with carrying the master's weapons, end quote.
Will you stay for the lemonade?
Don't know what that's from, but okay.
It's from Afro Samurai.
Okay. In a letter from one Jesuit father to another, the relationship between Yasuke and Nobunaga was described as, quote, the black man understood a little Japanese, and Nobunaga never tired of talking with him. And because he was strong and had few skills, Nobunaga took great pleasure in protecting him and had him roam around the city of Kyoto with an attendant. Some people in the town said Nobunaga might make him as Tano, or Lord, end quote. That, every time I read that, it makes me chuckle because I imagine like this little Japanese man, he's all excited and just like rambling on and on and on and on and like talking really animated. And this black guy's just sitting there smiling and nodding and listening to him, like, mm hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the fact that like he's a 6 foot, probably 200-pound black man, and they're like, but he doesn't know how to fight like we do. So you need to send this little Asian samurai around with him to protect him. Can't imagine. Nobunaga just thought it was the funniest shit in the world.
I bet.
So, but could you imagine if he had been made a lord?
That would be cool.
People's minds would have. We could have like there is a whole race of Japanese black people, but you know what I mean? Like from then, we could have had like this whole lineage. It would have been cool.
Mm-hmm.
At some point during his time with Nobunaga, Yasuke leaves for about 2 weeks with the missionaries, but returned back to Kyoto. He next shows up in a diary entry on May 11th, 1582, when he is said to have joined Nobunaga for an inspection of land recently conquered. Quote, Nobunaga Sama was accompanied by a black man who was presented to him by the missionaries and to whom he gave a stipend. His body was like black ink, and he was 6 shaku 2 bu, or near 6 feet tall. His name was said to be Yasuke, end quote. Yasuke's time with Nobunaga ended on June 21st, 1584, in what is known as the Honnoji Incident. This quote-unquote incident was a coup planned and executed by Akechi Mitsuhide, Nobunaga's senior vassal. Mitsuhide betrayed Nobunaga when he was at temple with 30 or so of his followers. His group was defeated, and Nobunaga was forced to commit seppuku, or an ancient ritual form of suicide for samurais. And if y'all don't know, they literally just fall on their sword. They kill themselves by falling on their sword.
Yeah.
Ancient samurai stuff. I don't make the rules.
If they were successful in the seppuku, they died quickly.
Yeah. And it was
their organs would.
Don't come at me if I'm wrong here, Japanese people, but isn't it like they have to perform seppuku if they're defeated?
If they're, yeah, if the opposing faction wins, then and they do not kill you in the process, then you would perform that to gain the honor of dying in battle. And they would do it a certain way to where they would die quickly.
Yeah.
Or slowly if they were not successful in doing it the right way. But yeah.
As for Yasuke, somehow he was able to escape the attack at the temple, and he went to Nobunaga's son and joined with him to attack Mitsuhide's forces. But they were defeated, and Yasuke was once again in bondage. Whether as an act of grace or as he did not see Yasuke as an equal, Mitsuhide recommended that Yasuke not be forced to perform seppuku, and he was sent back to the Jesuit missionaries he had arrived at the islands with.
Whew, he got lucky.
Maybe, because we don't know what the fuck happened to him after that.
This is true.
1500s going in the 1600s, he could have been pushed back into the transatlantic slave trade.
Yeah.
Could you imagine going from being a fucking samurai to being a fucking slave?
Shit, no,
God
man.
damn. I would commit seppuku at that point.
Right.
Around 5 months later, there was a writing by a missionary in which they thanked God that Yasuke did not lose his life. And that's where his story ends.
Wow.
After this, Yasuke fades back into obscurity, and there are no known written text of what happened to him after. There are very few possible visual depictions of what Yasuke may look like. The most likely one is a drawing done by an anonymous artist that shows a dark-skinned man with wavy hair wrestling a Japanese man. But he has been depicted in modern pop culture. In 1968, a children's book about Yasuke titled Komosuke was published and would go on to win the Japanese Association of Writers for Children prize.
Nice.
In 1971, a satirical novel, Koro no Koronbo, by Shusaku Endo, was inspired by Yasuke, and he appears in the 2008 novel Momoyama Beat Tribe as a main character. In 2017, that book was made into a play. There are many, many depictions of him throughout anime and manga. Those can be found on the wiki page in the show notes, but I will mention that Yasuke was the inspiration for Takashi Okazaki's Afro Samurai.
Nice.
I was like, yeah, he was. And we got his sword.
Yep.
So now you know what kind of sword he had.
Yep, that's the sword I got.
There's
It's probably not as big as
no.
like
I mean, and maybe he didn't use a big
but
sword. Maybe he just used a regular sword. And
might have.
I mean, I'm sorry if you see a 6-foot black man coming at you with a samurai sword of any size.
Yeah.
Fucking run.
Yeah. The power, man.
There has only been on big screen one big screen film made about him so far, the 2023 historical drama Kubi, but one future filmed I am pretty excited about. Well, I'm not really sure what the name is going to be. In 2017, it was announced that Lionsgate would be making the film Black Samurai.
Nice.
However, in 2019, the film was renamed Yasuke and left Lionsgate for Picture Start. Now, I say I'm pretty excited about it because while I am thrilled to have this movie, somebody had already signed on to play Yasuke, but he will not be doing that film because Chadwick Bosman died in 2020, and he had signed on to play Yasuke.
Damn.
God damn. Could you imagine T'Challa as a samurai?
I could, yeah.
I see it. I see Chadwick Bosman with like the kimono and the pants, and he's all like, wah, wah, wah. That would have been fucking great. Now, one of the more controversial depictions of Yasuke comes from a video game. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, he is one of the protagonists, and I have seen with my own 2 eyeballs how mad this can make some white supremacist gamers. And I wish racism wasn't such an issue in the gaming community, but it is. Y'all need to fucking work on that, gamers.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of hate towards this character in particular. Oh, no black man was ever a samurai. Black people can't be samurais. There was never a black samurai. We need black samurai. Yes, motherfucker, there was. He may not have been titled samurai, but if you get to carry motherfucking Nobunaga's sword, that makes you a goddamn samurai.
Yeah.
It's not always about titles. Sometimes it's just about like culture.
Yeah.
And we may never know if he was technically bestowed with that title, but I don't think it matters.
The samurai is more of a way of living, anyways. And if
it is now, but in 1500s feudal Japan, the samurai was like the army. Like it was like armies of samurai. You were a samurai or you weren't a samurai. Now it's kind of more a culture.
It's kind of a code of honor back then too.
But this was just like a random black dude showed up in Japan with some missionaries, just like as a bodyguard, I guess, just hanging out, making sure they don't get killed. And then the next thing he know, he's hanging out with one of the most powerful people in history. Nobunaga was called he was the first of 3 great unifiers of Japan.
Right.
Black man had the ear of one of the most of a unifier of Japan. Just sit with that. I know you don't like it. Sit with it.
I like it. I think it's cool as shit.
Some other people don't like it. So what do you think of Yasuke, Bill?
I love it. I always like Black Samurai. I own both seasons and the sword, so.
Right. Black Samurai? Was that a video game? Or anime?
Afro Samurai.
Oh, Afro Samurai.
Yeah.
I was like, I know Afro Samurai.
He was the Black Samurai.
Yeah, he was. I mean, yeah, he was the Black Samurai. We don't have a Black Samurai yet. There's a couple of, not just Picture Start. I think there was another movie company that's thinking about doing Black Samurai movie.
Hope they do it.
So hopefully in the next 5 years or so, we'll get a couple of Yasuke movies out there, and we can really piss some people off, because
sure,
goddamn, some people can't stand to see black excellence in any form.
Right.
See, we can do it all, folks. We can even become friends with feudal Japanese leaders.
I mean, I think a black man in full samurai gear is like terrifying.
There's some statues,
granted,
that have been done of him.
Like, you know, like a little Asian man, in full samurai gear is terrifying as well.
Anybody in samurai gear, you see the samurai gear?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, fuck.
Because it's like this lightweight armor. Like, armor in general is like terrifying. If you guys watch, I've watched some medieval MMA. And oh my god, those guys go hard.
They do go hard.
Like, and they will kill you. Like, if any one of them decides that they would want to at any point, they could kill you.
Yeah.
And in full body armor, it's just like, man. And samurai is even worse because it's like full body armor, but it's lightweight.
Yeah, so they can like move and run.
So they can move and go fast, and
because they just like
slice you up.
They were like
swords and.
Well, yeah, ninjas are cool, but see, they can get stabbed. So let's put you in some armor.
Yep.
And send you out like that, and fuck some shit up. I love samurais, and I love the Japanese culture. I love Asian cultures, China, Korea, all those places. And when I saw the hate, I wanted to do this because I saw a post where an artist had made a Yasuke statue in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
In the comments, I'm just like, people arguing with Japanese people about their own culture.
Right.
I think the Japanese people fucking know whether Yasuke was real, and they say Yasuke was real and he did the things he did. And may or may not have been a samurai, but he had the fucking ear of this leader. Yeah. So people can suck it with their racism. I'm so over it this week.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Let us know what you think on the socials and on YouTube and all that in the comments.
Yep. Come and see us at our parade or our
Pride.
Pride.
Pride. We can be in the parade if you want.
That'd be kind of cool.
The anxiety that just. All right, guys. We hope y'all have a good week, and we will see y'all later. Love you. Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.